If you can name 3 HBCUs, this hoodie is yours. Can you do it? Can you name 1? Okay, so he said Howard. That's 1. What else? Okay, Delaware State. Okay, one more. You want a phone up front? Alright, crowd. Yell out an HBCU that you know. What you hear? Unless you give him a round of applause. We still got some more. Who wants the next one? Boss right here. Yes, sir. So what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Michael and I'm from Delaware City.
Okay, Michael, make some noise for Michael. So my question for you is, do you want to go to HBCU?
I would love to, and it sounds lots of fun.
Okay. So my question for you is, can you name the first HBCU?
Lake Kid.
That's correct. Make some noise. I believe we got one more. Can I get a lady? Oh, I think I might walk into the crowd. Okay. Who won it? Alright, so what's your name and where are you from?
I'm from Newcastle.
Alright, give a round of applause. Alright, so what is something that you know about HBCUs?
I know that HBCUs are a great way for Black people to be around their own community and build together, especially coming from places where they might have been marginalized within their own high schools and communities around them.
Give a round of applause. Just for that answer, you got it. Make some noise for it. Make some noise. We still got a couple more hoodies. Who won it? Hold up. They pointing, okay. I think I'm around too real quick. Alright, boss, what's your name and where you from?
My name is Derek, I'm from Philly.
Alright, so what's something you know about HBCUs? What's something that you know about HBCUs?
I know that they really like a movement, like they gotta get bigger.
Okay, so my question is, what is your favorite HBCU? Which one you want to go to? Hampton, alright, make some noise for Hampton. Should have said Del State. Shout out to the Hornets in the building. Like I said, we're going to get the show on the road in a couple more minutes. I got a couple more giveaways. Alright, who knows how to do this TikTok dance real quick? Somebody come up, I need about 3 people, hold on.
Don't move, just stay
Come on.
Oh, what am I going to hold the action? That's me, that's what
Let me get step, let's go. need one more. Hold up, hold up. Y'all ready?
Huh?
So you know what you're doing, right? Alright, when the beat drop back up, y'all ready?
Wide shot over a little bit. Good? Is it good? It's good. Okay. Call if you need anything.
Make some noise, put out, make some noise.
I'm following the idea.
Hey,
Well, the wide shot should get everything.
hey. Who that jumping? Let's get it. Who that jumping? Let's get it. Hold on, watch out, watch out, watch out. Tap, 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 tap. All right, next song coming. You better be ready. Next song, next song. Oh, they got choreography. You know how to do this one? You know how to do this? Hold up.
What is?
I really appreciate y'all. Give another round of applause for that. Give another round of applause for that. So we're going to get into some HBCU line dances real quick.
That's the farthest I got. Oh, that's crazy.
Who know a couple
We're
of
on the
line
back of
dances?
the
Who know the Timmy Shuffle? Okay. Hold up.
Also, I'm trying to get all the action, but there's multiple people dancing.
Run it back, Blair. Run it back. Oh, right here, right here. Are you ready? Hold up. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Take a spin, make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Who know this? Who know this? Y'all don't know about this, not yet.
I get better grip, bro. My instructor is not great. I wish I had a bigger tripod, bro. I feel like
Oh, y'all know what y'all doing? Okay, let me see it.
Mr. Hines, please.
All right. You know the Cuban Shuffle. Y'all ready? Tudo. Y'all know y'all right for your left. Tudo. Now get. Walk it out, walk it out.
They say I'm a rapper, and I say no. They say what you do and try to do, sometimes you go. I just let the music come from my soul, so
They're boogieing.
my people can stay on the floor. They got a brand new dance, you gotta move your muscle.
Hold up, hold up, hold up.
Oh no, she did, bro, because I got 3 people. Oh, there's so many.
Hold up there, run it back, run it back, run it back, run it back. We gotta do this the right way. William Pang, y'all ready? Let's go. To the right, to the right, to the right to the left. Now kick, now kick. Walk it off. One more time, one more time. Make some noise, get out, make some noise, make some noise. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Yeah.
I said it's slow, man. 93rd.
I didn't know this one. I didn't know this one. Slide twist. Back. Watch out for that. Hold up. So we appreciate everybody who came up here and participated. I got free tickets to the Battle of the Bands for everybody, so. Yes sir, y'all gonna see real HBCU bands. Here y'all go. Y'all going to see JT tonight? Yes. They said JT coming. You got any more? Got one more.
Huh? It is. Dude, that was the pregame.
So I'm just sitting here, I'm like, be a panel.
Hey, listen, get hype, bro. That's what it's all about. I'm just going after him because he's in the shiny jacket. Yeah.
So once again, hold on, let me get a couple students to help me put these chairs back. I need two students.
Yeah.
I got a free giveaway for 2 students.
We're not even there yet, bro. It'd be funny if this guy wasn't actually leader, he was just a hype guy.
2 students.
I might be actually.
It said, never mind, y'all waited 2.
I don't think.
So I might need to.
Project,
Are these guys from the panel?
I don't think so. I think it's another game.
Y'all go ahead, meet me after the show, I got you.
Oh, no. Why did it just
Okay, so I go by the name of Kyrie Dupree, oneking.com on Instagram. So today we're going to get into the My HBCU Week panel discussion. We have a special guest, Sally Mae. Make some noise for that, make some noise. Oh, y'all must not know who Sally Mae is. That's who gonna pay our bills after this. So I'm gonna introduce the host for tonight, Darwin Morency. Make some noise, make some noise.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. All right. Listen, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this morning as we will talk about some strategies on how to pay for college. It's important to get into college, but having the money to pay for college is a different story. So today we're going to share some strategies and some information real quick so that you are armed with the best tools and resources to help you be successful. Not only getting in, but matriculating through and then graduating successfully with as little debt as possible. Did y'all hear me today? With as little debt as what? Possible. All right. I just got to make sure everyone's online. All right, so we're going to start today just kind of talking through some strategies and finding and applying for scholarships and grants, right? That's important. Then we're going to talk about exploring federal student loan options. Why is that important? How do you get them? Then we'll go through how to fund the remaining gap. What is that gap? The difference between financial aid that you receive and the balance that's owed. And then lastly, we'll circle around with some free tools and resources to help you be successful. So first up, I'm a believer in strategies and plans, right? If you plan to fail, then you will, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, right? So you need to have some resources and an approach to help you be successful as you're looking to pay for college. College is expensive, right? It's a tool and a pathway to be successful, financially successful in life, but you need to have a plan and strategy as to how you're gonna pay for it. So we're gonna provide you a 3-step plan. We're gonna keep it simple, right? Step 1, exhaust all scholarships and grants, and I'll talk to you about how to find that. Step 2, after you've done that, explore all federal resources, completing the FAFSA, the subsidized, unsubsidized loans. And then after you've completed steps 1 and 2, then you will look at looking at a private student loan if necessary. Notice that's step 3, not go from 1 straight to 3, but only if necessary you'll take out private student loans. That's important, and I need you to stay with that. So let's talk about, first off, how do you find scholarships and grants? So what are scholarships? Anyone know what a scholarship is? Free money. Money that you don't have to pay back. In life, this is the only place possibly where you will find someone giving you money for free without the obligation of having to return that. Why is that important? Simply because it reduces the amount of debt that you will incur going to school. You hear on the news all the time, loan forgiveness. And that's because basically people have taken out, without realizing there are other resources to help you. So scholarships, that's one. How do you need to exhaust that? And grants, and we'll talk about that. 2, right? How and when do you apply for scholarships? When you're applying for these scholarships, each of the applications have resources in terms of deadlines, process, timelines, and I'll repeat that, deadlines. If you miss the deadline, you miss the what? Correct. So it's important once you've identified a scholarship to make note of that deadline. That deadline is imperative because that will determine whether you get the $5,000, $3,000, for $200 that the scholarship is worth to help offset your expenses. And then how do you apply for scholarships? When you find the application, pay attention to the instructions. Read through them in depth. Understand what the expectations are. If there's an essay, if there's a timeline, if there's pictures, each scholarship is unique, and so you have to adhere to the process and the approach that they're recommending for you to follow. So some misconceptions with scholarships. A lot of people look at scholarships and say, well, that's only for those who are athletes and those for who are grades. Everyone hear that? Athletes or great grades? Well, I want to share with you this morning, it's not just that, right? There's scholarships for individuals who have red hair. There's scholarships for people who are tall, left-handed, right-handed, no hair, right? There's scholarships for everyone. So I want you to take advantage of those resources. Identify the scholarship that's unique to you and maximize on them. I want the scholarship approach for you to be like a job. Are you with me on that? Because if you approach it like a job, you're committed to it, then the outcome will be rewarding. Right? I'm here at Sallie Mae as a banker. My friend Antoine is here. We want you to explore and maximize on scholarships. Everyone says Sallie Mae is all about loans. No. We will make good loans. In other words, if it is important and at the right time. But we want you to take out on the scholarships so that you're in a better position financially to succeed in life. So, scholarships, what are they, right? Where can you find them? Really, they're not need-based, right? So you can find them for academic achievement, as I mentioned. If you have a financial need, you can find scholarships for that. Here is a list of everything, right? You have your phones, take pictures, because this will actually serve as a guide for you to be successful in achieving this goal and securing these scholarships. Now, where can you find these scholarships? You can find them at state agencies, your local library, your churches, private organizations, also online search engines. There are plenty of them out there for you to select from. I'll share one with you this morning. As you're looking at a search engine, I want to share with you the Sallie Mae Scholarship Search. Take out your smartphones, capture this QR code. This will be a tool that puts you into an environment that has thousands of scholarships available, totaling millions of dollars. It's free. You should not have to pay for scholarships. So you go into this environment, you capture this QR code, you set the criteria for how you want to search. Whether it's based on ethnicity, based on career pathway choice. In this environment, it will allow you to have access to these scholarships. Complete the application, submit the application. Here's one key strategy for you. Many people submit and apply for a scholarship and you walk away. I want each and every one of you who apply for a scholarship to make note of the company name, mailing address, email, any contact information. The week after you apply, I want you to call them. Introduce yourself, make reference to your application, and inquire if they've received it. If they have, ask them if there's anything in addition that you can do to secure that scholarship. I will tell you, that will bubble up your scholarship to the top of the list and give you closer and careful consideration. That's a strategy. My children have used it for college. I want each of you to do that so you can be successful. So, I talked about scholarships. The other side are grants. How do you get some grants? There are grants that are available to you through the federal government by completing the FAFSA. How many people here have heard of the FAFSA? Okay. All of you in here should be juniors and seniors at this point, right? Okay. One point about scholarships. Right now is the time you should be applying for them. Right? Right now is the time you should be applying for them. The FAFSA, you should be looking into that process. Normally, it's October 1 that the FAFSA process begins. Because of some adjustments, it's been pushed back to this year. I think it's going to be December, early January. Keep an eye out for that so you can understand when that window opens so that you can apply and be part of that process. Speak to your guidance counselors. They will help navigate you through that process, okay? For more information, go to studentaid.gov. What did I say? Studentaid.gov is your source for any and all federal information as it relates to scholarship grants, as it relates to financial aid, funding, and resources for you. So that should be your friend. I want you to commit it, or even just tag it on your computer, make it one of your favorites, visit that often. Now I want to kind of talk about some things. Almost everyone is eligible for aid on that website, okay? So do not fall under the misconception that it doesn't apply to me or I won't qualify. Take the time, go through the application process, okay? It affords you the ability to resources and tools that will help you to be successful. You have to complete it each and every year while you're in college, simply because many of the processes say you have to complete the FAFSA in order to be eligible for a lot of the financial aid resources that come available to you. And then the deadlines for the FAFSA are not in line with deadlines that your school has. So you have to understand clearly the deadline for one versus the other and make sure that you have a calendar to keep on track of all of that. Now, some important pieces. The process has changed a little bit for the FAFSA, right? So you need to have your student aid ID. So one of the first things you need to do is go, secure that. It may take a couple of days to have that, but get it done fast and early. Because once the application process happens or begins, you want to have everything in place so that you can go through the process smoothly and not get hung up. The second is what's called a multi-factor identification. That's a code that you will receive via text. You receive that one time, save it. Because if you need to change your password, it's that code that's going to help you identify or help them identify or verify who you are. Okay? That's important as well. Now, additional information when completing the FAFSA. So security number, record of financials and things of that sort. These are things that you will have to go through with your parents if you are dependent. If you're independent, there are a separate line of these that you have to be mindful. In the FAFSA application, you can apply for up to 20 colleges and universities. So again, take advantage of this. Maximize on all the opportunities that you have within that so that it can help you streamline the process as quickly as you can and get through it as effective and efficiently as possible. Some terms that you need to understand. student aid index. That's a number that will determine, right, helps the school financial aid office determine how much aid that you're eligible for in terms of financial aid. So you have to understand what that number is. It will be provided to you at the end of completing the FAFSA. The other things that are taken into consideration, your family size, the number of individuals in your family that are also going to college. So these are some key tools and facts that you need to capture to understand as you're going through the process. Fortunately, the FAFSA process has some tutorials in there that can help coach you through that process as you're learning and going through that experience. Special circumstances, this is important. If there's a change in employment, if someone dies in your family, or if there's something that has a severe impact on your financial situation, you need to let the school that you're applying to know that as quickly as possible, simply because they will adjust the amount of aid that you can get in your favor to help you get more money so that it reduces the cost for you out of pocket or your family, okay? Again, this is a key term that you need to be mindful of. So, I talked about FAFSA a little bit. StudentAid.gov is what? Your resource, right? For more information, we have that on the Sally Mae website, a tutorial, really some good guidelines to help you be successful in going through that process. Now, let's talk about what happens after the FAFSA is submitted, right? So once you submit the FAFSA, it goes to school. The school gets the information. They do a calculation to determine what the need is, and based on that need, they will determine how much financial aid that you qualify for. The reason why it's important, simply because to understand that, so you understand how that process works. It level sets expectations so that you're not surprised by anything that may happen. They use that student aid index that I talked about, that measure, to help determine how much need that you qualify for. So here's an example. The cost of attendance, when I say the cost of attendance, it doesn't mean tuition. That's housing, that's tuition, that's everything, transportation, books. That's the cost of attendance. They subtract that number, that student aid index that comes out of the FAFSA, and that helps determine how much need did you have. And the need will determine how much financial aid that you qualify for. Everyone with me? Okay. Here's another example. If you're comparing schools, not every need is the same at every school. It's depending upon the cost of attendance, and you'll see the one stable here is the student aid index, because that's unique to you. But you'll notice in these different examples, school A at $60,000, student aid is 20, need is 40. So as you're looking at schools, each school will give you a different need factor. So keep that in mind when you're comparing and determining what's the best choice and the best options for you. All right, let's round this up, talking about student loan options. As I mentioned with the federal program, it comes about as a result of completing the FAFSA. There's two. As an undergrad, you will have what's called the subsidized and unsubsidized loan. The subsidized loan is when the interest on that loan is paid for by the federal government. The unsubsidized loan is basically the loan that accrues interest once it disperses. Of all the loan programs out there, these are the cheaper of the two, simply because A, the interest rates tend to be lower, and in many cases, B, the interest is subsidized by the Department of Ed. So that's why this is step two. If you need to take out a loan, maximize on this, simply because it will cost you less. Remember I talked about getting through college with as minimal debt as possible? This is step two. Everyone with me? So some more information. Freshman year, the maximum that you could borrow is $5,500. That's the max, okay? Then it goes up a little bit higher to the second year, third year. The total amount that you can borrow as an undergraduate in terms of federal student loans is $31,000. There is a fee with this, and I want you to pay attention to that. That fee, 1.057%. So if you apply for, let's say, a $5,000 loan, the fee comes out first. So you do not get that $5,000, you get $5,000 minus the fees, right? So you have to be mindful of that. There is flexibility in repayments for this. Again, it's based on your income in many cases. So you can adjust and work with the servicer to help you identify which payment plan is most strategic for you and beneficial. This is, again, a tool to help you be successful. So now let's talk about funding that remaining balance. When you have a balance in college, right, you maximize on scholarships, you maximize on grants, you've taken out the federal loans, whatever's left, they have resources to help you pay for that. You can do a payment plan, which divides up the remaining balance over a 10-month period of time. You have to be more careful of that oftentimes because there are fees associated. Understand what that looks like, understand what the process is, and understand what the requirements are to satisfy and fulfill that process. There's also a Parent Plus loan. That's where your parent takes out the loan for you. It's not in your name, it's for you. So again, if you have a balance, they can take that out. There is a fee here as well, okay? And that allows the entire portion to be taken care of. So those are, again, another strategy and a resource for you. So let's talk about some tips and resources quickly and land this plane. As you're going through the process of planning and paying for college, you have to make sure that you're mindful of everything that you're signing. You're mindful of all the information. You keep record of everything. Because again, this will be a point of reference for you so that if you have a question, a doubt, you're not sure, you have your records. I can't stress that enough. Keep a record of everything. Again, you're not obligated to accept every type of aid that's given to you, so you have to understand what it is, be intentional, have a strategy, and look and understand and make sure that it's in alignment with what you want in terms of an outcome. Lastly, I'm going to give you these two resources. This is the QR code for the scholarships, and this is a QR code for FAFSA. The FAFSA piece, again, it's a tutorial, it's a guide to help you be effective and efficient in terms of satisfying everything that you need to know to be successful in that endeavor. I see phones, I'd like to see more phones capturing this information. Because again, this is a tool and a resource that you're getting for free to help you to be successful. And I believe that's my time this morning. Thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity.
You ended, so.
I know the ending. I use a lower.
All right, give another round of applause. Seems like everybody is asleep, so I need everybody to stand up real quick. We're gonna stretch before we get into the next part. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Stretch. Move off the sleep.
How are you guys having fun? We're having great fun. Stand up and stretch. Stand up and stretch.
What you know about this?
Did you just see him late? Is it ending?
No.
All right, on three, we're gonna take a picture. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3.
That could be a problem.
Matter of fact, it's cool. Y'all ready? All right, so we're about to get into the
I
next
think you should go on
portion
What?
play for now. I think it's the teacher.
of this panel.
I was gonna say it's for days.
I would like to introduce Adriana Brown, who is the HR coordinator and dance instructor. She currently works in the city of Wilmington in the Melodic Movements Performing Arts Incorporated. As a proud alumna of Mount Pleasant High School and Delaware State University, she values the education and community that instills, my apologies, that was instilled. At Delaware State University, she majored in hospitality and tourism management. At DSU, she fell in love with the HBCU culture and continues to advocate for your young scholars and explore all HBCUs. Give another hand for Adriana Brown.
Did you not hear his pipe with lasers backwards? Yeah.
right, good morning again. Sorry. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So we have a great panel for you guys. Again, I am a proud alum of Mount Pleasant High School and Delaware State University, and I'm so excited to introduce the panelists that we have today. So I'm going to ask our panelists to come on up, and I'm going to introduce you guys as you come sit down. So this morning, our panelists are going to talk about their life at their HBCU, their careers now, and how that helped mold them into who they are today. So we talked about how you got to pay for college, how you're going to be able to get there, which is very important because if you don't have no money, you're not going to have the grade,
This is
right?
where your wine comes from.
Right, okay. All right, so my first panelist is Ms. Yesenia Taveras. Yesenia Taveras is an accomplished, award-winning journalist, television talk show host, and public speaker with a distinguished career in communications. A graduate of Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland, with a Bachelor of Arts in Communications. She has dedicated nearly 2 decades to the media industry and was recently honored as one of Delaware Business Times DBT 40 Top 40 Under 40 Young Professional Achiever and Innovator. Yesenia's career in communications began just at 16, hosting a youth talk show on Delaware's local Comcast station. Inspired by this experience, she pursued a career in communications, becoming the first in her family to earn a college degree. With 23 years of experience, Taveras has worked with some of the nation's top companies, including ESPN, Philadelphia's Channel 6 ABC, Def Jam Records, Black Enterprise Magazine, Career Communications Group, and United Health Group. She done a lot, y'all.
Oh, I don't catch him getting that.
She currently serves as the first Hispanic Director of Communications for the Wilmington City Council, where she oversees all internal and external communications, including daily press releases, newsletters, talking points, annual reports, and speeches for the 13 elected officials. Her work quickly gained recognition, earning Delaware Press Association awards in her first year. In addition to her impressive media career, Taveras is also the founder of Unseen Bliss, where she collaborates with nonprofits, universities, and media outlets to share her story as a sexual assault survivor. Through this initiative, she has provided ministry care and counsel to more than 200 women who have also survived sexual abuse and domestic violence. She is also a proud single mother of a beautiful 13-year-old daughter and a handsome 10-year-old son. Ms. Yesenia Taveras. Next up, we have Mr. Kyle Harvey. Kyle Harvey is a versatile storyteller hailing from Wilmington, Delaware. With a background in journalism and a passion for sports and entertainment, he has carved a niche in content creation and production. After graduating from North Carolina A&T State University, Harvey's career took flight as a journalist and editor at The Griot. His skills were further honed through stints at NBC News, The Bleacher Report, and where he developed his expertise in podcasting and hosting. As a former college baseball player, Harvey's love for sports has extended beyond the playing field. Since 2020, he has been a key figure in traditional sports and esports, serving as a creative consultant and producer. His work with the Players Tribune, interviewing world champions like Asia Wilson, Kevin Love, and Karin Butler, showcased his ability to connect with athletes on a personal level. Harvey's executive producer roles at T1 Entertainment and Sports and Comcast Overwatch team demonstrated his leadership and strategic thinking. He successfully spearheaded content creation for various gaming communities, including League of Legends, Street Fighter, and Valorant. Today, Kyle continues to contribute to the creative landscape, splitting his time between Harlem, New York, and Wilmington. As a producer with RAMG Studios, he is dedicated to fostering Delaware's creative economy and shaping its future. Again, Mr. Kyle. Our next panelist is Miss Nia Anderson. Nia Anderson recently graduated from Howard University, where she earned her bachelor's degree in computer science. As a first-generation college student and a Black woman in tech, Nia is passionate about using technology to drive positive social change for marginalized communities. She received the 2019 Chamorro's Future of Chemistry Scholarship and the 2024 AstraZeneca HBCU Week Scholarship. HBCU Week holds a special place in her heart because of the unwavering support it provides not only to her but students nationwide. Throughout her academic journey, Nia held leadership roles including serving as president of the Howard chapter of National Society of Black Engineers, NSBE. Her professional experience includes internship with Apple as a user experience designer and Chamor's as a data analyst. Now in her second year of the master's program in computer science at Howard University, Nia is focused on human-computer interaction, or HCI, and augmented reality, or AR, research. Her ultimate goal is to become a full-time UI/UX designer, where she aims to create user-centered, inclusive technologies that serve diverse communities. Ms. Nia. And our final panelist is Ms. Leah Warren. Raised on the east side of Wilmington, Leah attended Newark High School. Her upbringing was rooted in the core values instilled by her family, emphasizing the importance of family, service to others, and loyalty. Her mother was a pivotal figure, impressing upon her the significance of leadership and education. In her early years, Leah's grandmother enrolled her in the FAST, Friends and Family Stay Together program at the neighborhood house in Southbridge. The FACT program introduced Leah to the needs of the less fortunate and highlighted the impact of nonprofit organizations, laying the foundation for her future career. Her first job was as a program assistant with FAST taught her invaluable life lessons, the importance of family bonding and community service. After high school, Leah pursued higher education at Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland, majoring in communications with the focus of public relations. Upon graduating, Leah began working with Baltimore City Public Schools, teaching a series of life skills classes. Driven by a desire to give back to her own community, Leah transitioned back to Delaware and has worked for the nonprofits in the state of Delaware. Through her work in Delaware, Leah recognized a critical need for substance use services. The realization led to her return to the school at Delaware Tech Community College, Del Tech, where she earned an associate's in human services with a concentration in drug and alcohol counseling. She is currently the community response manager for fatal and non-fatal overdoses in Delaware, where she works to address and mitigate the impact of substance abuse in our state. Outside of her professional life, Leah finds joy in traveling the world, trying new foods, and partying with lifelong friends. These experiences provide a refreshing balance to her career and fuels her passion for her personal and professional growth. Welcome, Ms. Leah. So all of you panelists have accomplished so much in your lives, and we are so happy to have you here at Mount Pleasant. So we're gonna ask you guys a few questions, and I hope that you guys are ready to hear from their experiences. So the first question is, tell us about your HBCU that you went to and why you chose to attend that HBCU.
I guess I'll go first. How y'all doing? Once again, my name is Kyle Harvey. Went to North Carolina A&T down in Greensboro. The reason why I went to A&T, to be honest with you, it was one of the first schools to accept me. And I wanted to play sports outside of Delaware. I played football here, but baseball was my passion, and I wanted to compete at, on a level outside of the tri-state. Once I went down there, I fell in love immediately. I appreciated not just the accents, but the familiarity. It kind of felt like home. Greensboro at the time reminded me of like Wilmington, to be honest. If you go downtown, times it by 3. It had that type of familiar feeling. So that was probably one of the main reasons why I went. On top of that, I had a passion of doing things where I wanted to be like a radio host and work in communications. And at the time, their program had people like Terrence J come out of it. So instead of just doing like hard news, I wanted to do something a little more personality based. And A&T gave me that opportunity.
So I ended up going to Morgan State University, which is in Baltimore, Maryland. My top 3 schools were actually Howard, Hampton, and Norfolk. But it wasn't until I got a call from Morgan State University that told me that my SAT scores on my transcript weren't updated. And so that's why I remember the gentleman that just came up here was talking about scholarships. I didn't get a full scholarship, and I was getting partial scholarships at a lot of different universities. So when Morgan State University took the time to explain that to me, and we got that all sorted out and fixed, I went ahead and visited the campus. I fell in love with the atmosphere. They had a great broadcast journalism department where I was able to get on campus and start my own talk show my freshman year. And that's kind of what sold me. I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I got to college, and Morgan State University provided that opportunity, and there was no looking back from there.
So I attended Howard University, the real HU. Sorry to any Hampton folks, you know. And honestly, when I was in high school, my senior year, I came down to about 3 schools: University of Delaware, which is that wasn't gonna happen, and Delaware State and Howard. And although Delaware State is cool, it's good, but Howard was it was different. I went on tours and went to open house at Howard, and similar to what you said, like the energy, the atmosphere, it was unmatched. I also met like a dean in the College of Engineering and Architecture there, and I told her how I was nervous about majoring in computer science, and she was like, look, girl, you can do this, you need to believe in yourself, and you can do this here. This is where you need to be, surrounded by people who look like me, and just students who achieve on a daily basis. So the decision after that, it was clear, like Howard was where I needed to be. And I also love Washington, DC, so.
Good morning. So my name is Leah Bourne, and I went to Morgan State University as well. And I decided to go to Morgan because it was city-like, and I'm a city girl. So I went, I visited, and I loved it, and it reminded me of home. So I decided to stay, and I decided to go, and I roughed it out in Baltimore, Maryland.
Thank you for hearing me. Hello? There we go. All right. Thank you, panelists. Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with y'all? I don't have that story. My story of choosing that HBCU, I love my Delaware State University, but you know why I went? Because it gave me the most money. Yeah. No, and I have no hate to Morgan, A&T, HU. I have no hate, but y'all, it's hard out here being an adult. I'm a little broke. So, but you know, hey, go ahead. Look out for them scholarships, yes? All right. All right. All right, so I want y'all to be completely honest. We all know that we have HBCU love, but I need you to tell us the most challenging part about attending your HBCU, and then also your most rewarding part about attending your HBCU.
So for me, I am Puerto Rican and Dominican. So when I got onto, it's Latinos, Latinas in here. HBCU is a home for you as well. And so when I got on campus, I thought that being a minority amongst the minorities would be a challenge for me, but it wasn't. And that's what I loved about attending the HBCU. They embraced me as a family. The professors there embraced me as family. And it just was straight to work when I got there. But one thing that was challenging, as you mentioned in my biography, and some people shy away from these experiences that happen on campus, but it does happen to some of us. My freshman year, fall semester, I was sexually assaulted by Mr. Morgan. And when you go to HBCUs, you'll see that there's a king and a queen for every university. And so right away, I was only 3 months into school, I thought that that experience was going to stop me from graduating, and it did not. I had, when you get to college, you'll have people who are going to be helping you in the dorms. They're called RAs. And my RA actually was like my sister friend. She was much older than me. She was a senior at the time. And she guided me to how to get out of that. And that's when I knew this was home for me. And I just kept my foot on the ground. I focused, and I was able to have my own talk show on campus right after that happened. I was able to start Morgan State University's first radio station for the students who were on campus. I learned how to campaign on campus, talk to the students there on campus, and most importantly, I learned the importance about leadership and what it is to lead. So having come from something that was such a dark place, understanding that it happens at all universities, not just one. It's like, it's out there, it's a thing that's not talked about, but I was able to just persevere and push forward. And I was able to excel from there, but I don't want to take everyone's time. But that was my most challenging part, in being able to come from that and still graduate on time, magna cum laude with a 3.8 GPA. And I did have a voice. I advocated on campus. I got that gentleman expelled from the university. He did not graduate. He did not graduate on time, but I did. And he got his crown taken away. So I just share that to say, you find yourself who you are at these universities that you attend, and even though you think that there's something that's going to be counted against you, it's actually for you. And other women in my journey were able to come up to me and actually share their experiences with me, and then I was able to begin a movement on campus.
This question, most challenging and then most, okay. Freshman year for me was personally challenging because I had to say goodbye to a parent. My mother passed away when I was a second semester freshman year to cancer. My father here was an educator here in Brandywine School District, so a lot of students, people were grieving, and having to come back home to bury her, going through that was probably, it's like BC AD when you look in the Bible. So for me, that was probably one of the most heartbreaking, challenging things in my life. But the community, my teammates, my baseball teammates, the people in my major, communications, wrapped their arms around a kid that was going through probably the most heartbreaking times in their life. I was forged through fire. It was one of those things where, if you're standing by yourself, I was never alone. So while I was grieving, and some people might admire that, I was hurting. And I found a family, a chosen family, outside of the ones that knew me here in Delaware. So I would say it was probably the most challenging, but it was also one of those experiences that defines you moving forward. These are my lifelong friends to this day. They've been in weddings, I've been in their weddings, I've seen their kids grow, and they are integral to my development as a person. So I say, if you do go to an HBCU, not saying that to have something so traumatic that happens to you, just be prepared for the love and be prepared for the community, the people that you're going to meet that will be, a part of your life moving forward. So I would say that's probably the most challenging and rewarding. And I went through something heartbreaking here that I associated with Delaware at the time, but my world got expanded.
So The most challenging part for me, I would say, as a first-generation college student, so I stepped into college not necessarily knowing what to expect, and I quickly had to learn how to become an advocate for myself. I was in that financial aid office, and these are things that I never had to take care of on my own back at home, being in high school and such, but when you go to college, financial aid, they don't want to talk to your parents. They're going to talk directly to you. So it was a tough lesson to learn in dealing with administration or even advisors really, but as long as you are an advocate for yourself, you will learn that at an HBCU or any college that you go to, and you will take that with you into any space that you walk into. And then the most rewarding part, I would say, is probably the friends, but the friends that turned into family along the way. I made sisters, I made just lifelong friends, honestly, and the experiences that I've had with them, it's like I don't think I would have gotten that anywhere else aside from my HBCU.
So as I was just sitting here thinking about all my experiences at Morgan, my most challenging experience was financial aid. I did not apply for scholarships. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I was getting away from home, and I was going to live on campus, and I was going to be grown because I was 18. So I had to stand in those long financial aid lines, and I would go from one person to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, but I did not let them tell me no. I did not let them tell me they didn't have the funds. I did not let them tell me I couldn't live on campus or anything. So like she said, always advocate for yourself. Never let them tell you no. Never let them tell you they don't have the funds because they can go find them. And stick it out. Those lines are going to be long, just like on TV. You're going to have to sit on the floor. You're going to have to get somebody to bring you food. You're going to have a lot of tears. So that was my challenge. But my reward was learning how to grind, because I didn't know anyone in Baltimore. Learning how to stay motivated, because those nights get hard when you don't know what to do. You don't have book money. You don't have money to go to the party, or you don't have money to buy a new outfit. So staying motivated and learning how to grind, and also being adventurous. I caught my first hat in Baltimore, if you know anything about Baltimore stuff. It's kind of like Uber today, but in 2006, they did not have Uber. So, I learned how to catch the bus. I worked 2 jobs and I went to school full-time. Yes, I had a mother, but it wasn't nothing like having your own money, grinding for yourself, and maintaining for yourself. So, just keep your eyes on the prize and don't let them tell you no, and stay adventurous. Do not stay in your box. Do things that you typically would not do. Be friends with people who do not look like you, who do not act like you, who do not talk like you. Because some of my closest friends are the friends that live in Chicago, in Atlanta, and different places, not here. So just stay motivated, stay open-minded, and stay grinding.
Thank you so much. It sounds like your challenges were very hard in the moment, but it sounds like at each of your points in your HBCU career, you had a community, you had a family to help you get through it, and I think that's the biggest thing that we want to spread to our young folks today. So I do want to ask some questions. This is only a raise of hands. Who wants to be an influencer? Okay, I got two. Who wants to professionally work in the sports world, whether you are an athlete, whether you are in the communications of it? Awesome. Who wants to work in nonprofits? Okay, that's fine, no worries. So we have a lot of experience up here from different perspectives. We have an athlete, we have someone who is doing content creation, we have people that are working in studios, and there is a lot of money in what you do with your career and how you pivot. So to my panelists, I want to ask you, how did your HBCU experience prepare you for your career? And if you can focus on any activities on campus that you participated that kind of helped shape your career today.
Nice. Good question. So first of all, I do want to bring attention to this Student Government Association and the International Student Association that we had at Oregon State University. Both of those organizations that I was a part of helped me to see how the integrates of how HBCU works. And then also with International Student Association, I got to connect with other minorities from other Caribbean islands, so other places in the world as well, like Trinidad and Tobago, Ethiopia, Africa. Like it was a phenomenal experience. But to your question, I got my first job at 18 years old while I was at Oregon State University working for ESPN. A professor there, we were getting ready to go into our winter session, and he asked, did anybody want to work during the winter? No one raised their hand. And I was like, me, I'll work. Winter is usually when we're all on break, people want to take relax and get away from studying so hard. And I said, no, I'm all in. But he didn't say who the company was for. And so when I got the call and I ended up finding out it was for ESPN, my job at the time, I was on payroll, was to work for the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, the Redskins, who are now the Commanders, and the New York Giants. So I was up and down 95 during the semester after winter because I didn't stop working there. I continued that connection, that job, all the way till after I started working here for the city, 2 years after I started working here in Wilmington. And so that was my first job. One of the professors on campus told me, make sure you get experience in everything that you do. If you want to be in journalism, you want to be on TV, you want to do radio, don't stop at one place. Learn how to be in front of the camera, learn how to be behind the camera, learn all those moving parts. So when an opportunity comes and presents itself, you know exactly what you want to do. And so by my junior year in college, I was working for Black Enterprise magazine in New York. That came from a college career fair, which we will be attending later this week. And they came in as a representative. They had a long line. Everybody wanted to go to New York. Everyone wanted to write for Black Enterprise. I kind of had a little different tactic. I waited till all the students went up. I kind of went to all the other booths. I already had a plan in mind. I knew what I wanted to do, had my resume, had my DVD at the time. Because we had DVDs, we didn't have like social media like we do, just, hey, scan this. So I presented my information, told them what I did on campus. I started the first ever radio station for the students there. Ended up getting a call when I was part of the National Broadcasting Society, which is another organization on campus that deals with students who are in media who want to do that journalism work with podcasting, radio, TV, and magazines. And when I was in California attending, because I was their president for the university and I was attending a conference, I got the call from Black Enterprise to come work for them. They had just signed a contract with Clear Channel radio stations, which was over 120 radio stations throughout the nation. And I was picked to work at their New York location, at their headquarters. And I was working with Alicia Keys, Baba. I was writing reports for them, helping people who actually want to learn how to handle their credit, manage the money. So many celebrities to list that I was able to work for, but it all comes back to being able to connect with the professors. Having friendships with the students was great, but also don't shy away from connecting with the professor, because that right there is probably where your connections will be to get the job you want.
I'm a Christian, I might mess up my Bible quotes, but there's this one. Basically, you have not because you ask not, right? Like, I feel like what you would consider to be motion, as in keeping yourself active, you need to do that, and that's the one thing I would say I learned in my major in communications, because there's a certain type of hustle if you want to work in news. You have to follow up, you have to go ahead and make sure your sources are correct. You got to make sure that what you're saying is like true, because you'll be called out on it, you will not be objective, and then more importantly, you will get no follow-ups to what you want to do. So when I was a sophomore, I ended up having an internship at Morgan State because I wanted to go ahead at the time do radio. I wanted to speak on camera, I wanted to get paid for it, and I wanted to let my voice be my medium to go ahead and communicate. It was good. I realized that there is a mentality of making sure you get your reps in, making sure that you're cutting a certain type of tape. How do I sound good on camera? How do I sound good with a microphone in my hand? This was something that I learned underneath the tutelage of dude who worked at a jazz station. But just like you said, my junior year, I opted to stay in college to have a summer session because I was able to work into the camera station and get paid for it. I realized if you want to be like a quarterback, if you want to be like a general manager comparable to your sports, you need to learn how to shoot. You need to learn how to write. Because if you don't have your foundations, you don't have your foundation, all of that will fall. Media is like building a house. And if your foundation isn't strong, everything else crumbles. So I think that was the biggest takeaway that I had, because you realize, one, you can't do it all by yourself. They always say network with who's around. Make sure your friend group is sturdy, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be working with them soon. You're going to be working with other people in other universities. Networking, and not just DMing, not just texting or group messaging. You know, being able to be tangible, looking someone in the eye still holds more weight than anything else that you do off the Zoom, via text. They need to feel your energy, and that's always been my thing when it comes to getting jobs. I'll be honest, I can apply online for any job that I want, but I've always gotten new jobs because I was referred, because my networks and my relationships were, you know, definitively strong. So networking, team building. If you know how to write a good email, you're probably able to get yourself a job because you're able to communicate at a high level and being very concise in what you need to say. So I would just say making sure that you polish on how you communicate with people, making sure you meet where you're at, and when the opportunity presents yourself, make sure you have the motion to go ahead and be able to jump right in.
So Howard helped prepare me for the STEM workforce because going into it, you're already at a disadvantage. Black individuals make up around like 9% of the STEM workforce, so 9 times out of 10, the rooms that you're walking into at these corporate companies, you're gonna be the only Black person in the room. So being at my HBCU, it helped me overcome some of this self-doubt that I had being not only Black, but a Black woman at that in this field. But I knew it was something that I wanted to pursue. But sometimes, you know, the question just comes into my head, like, should I really be in this field? Like, is this really for me if I don't see anyone that looks like me? But that's the unfortunate reality. But being at Howard, I connected with my professors, and also my peers within my class, and I was surrounded by like-minded individuals that we all knew what we wanted to do. I want to work at Apple, I want to work at Google, I want to start my own company, I want to make my own website, you know. So being surrounded by my peers with that mindset, it's like you adapt that mindset yourself too. So I was like, okay, I want to be a user experience designer. And the opportunities that come when being at an HBCU is countless. So for example, Google, they have a partnership with Howard, and it's called Google Tech Exchange. And it's an opportunity for like juniors and sophomores to take courses that are taught directly by Google engineers. And people, it's only open to HBCUs, so people at PWIs, they're not being taught by Google engineers. So the experience and the knowledge that I gained from that, it helped me to get that internship my junior year at Apple. So in addition to that, some of the orgs that I was a part of on campus, specific to my career, the National Society of Black Engineers, I moved up in the ranks, the leadership ranks in that org, but my senior year, I was the president of that organization. And so the leadership that I gained from that and the professional experience, again, I wouldn't have gotten that anywhere else. But there are so many clubs, and I'm also a proud member of Alpha Chapter, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So, yeah, shout out my sorors. But connecting with individuals in that organization as well there's just so many opportunities. And then, like my mom always tells me, who's sitting right there, hi mommy, your network is your net worth. So that was probably the best piece of advice I've received, and it's been true. So connect with everyone at your HBCU, and it will open doors for you, but then it's important to also open those doors for other people as well.
So, being the last panelist over here, it gives me a lot of time to think about my answer. And so I decided to be transparent about my college experience because it was nothing like theirs. I joined no club on campus. I probably was the president of what party bus we're going to, what we're going to wear, and I'm doing everybody's hair before we go out. But I always was an advocate for people less fortunate. So if my friends didn't have clothes, I was finding them something. If they didn't have money to go to the club, I was giving them the money, even if I didn't eat that day, or I used somebody else's meal plan. However we figured it out, we got it done and we went to the club. So, no, I did not join anything. But working in the city, going to school in the city of Baltimore, I was able to see the need of others. We think that we have it bad here. To me, it was even worse there. So yes, I did work at Target while going to school, but I also worked for a program called Creative Kids. And with that program, it allowed me to help children in less fortunate neighborhoods with their homework after school, giving them life lessons that they probably wouldn't receive in their home, giving them a purpose, taking them places that they probably would never go. So, joining a group or anything or organization on campus, no, I did not. But being a better person off campus, I was. And that was so much more gratifying, I feel like, than being with my peers on campus. It allowed me to immerse into someone else's life outside of Wilmington, outside of Delaware, outside of my friends, and outside of my peers. So my best advice to you is to join those clubs, because it was something I did regret, because no, I don't have those connections that I could have made. And so I have connections I made outside, which has allowed me to receive the job that I have received now. But being able to go back to college, going back to homecomings and say, hey girl, remember we used to be in that organization, or where are we gonna meet? I don't have that. I only have my friends that I gained. So join those organizations, but also live outside the box. And like I said before, be adventurous and do things that you wouldn't normally do.
Thank you, panelists. We are going to wrap up this session. I do want to ask you one more thing. So to our young scholars here, as if you were sitting in this seat as a high schooler, can you tell us in one sentence what you would tell them?
Don't be scared to be the first. I was the first person in my family to graduate from college to finish. I was the first person to become the Hispanic manager at WI 1022. I'm the first Hispanic Director of Communications for Wilmington City Council. That all started at Morgan State University. I wasn't afraid to start something. HBCUs, thank you so much, they embrace creativity. So I would encourage you to attend an HBCU, and when you get there, don't be afraid to start something if you see that it's not on campus.
I would tell anyone, if I were to give you one sentence, which would probably be two already, time is finite. You have 4 years to go ahead and put yourself in a position to make better, not just for your life, to be the first one, but also for your family. So I would tell anyone, especially if you're a junior, to think about where you want to be in the next 4 years. So important. because if you're able to work backwards from that, you're going to give yourself peace of mind to go ahead and do some things outside of the 302. I love where I'm from, but I wouldn't have been as just, I love where I'm from, but also in A&T. The only reason I was successful at A&T is because I'm from Delaware, I'm from Wilmington, and I got a lot of my foundational self where I'm from because of here. So make sure you're thinking outside of here, making sure that you have the ability to go ahead and put yourself in a position that allows you to thrive, not just here, but wherever you want to go.
Really quickly, I would say follow your passions, believe in yourself, and then apply to these scholarships because the money is out there and you do not want to stress when you are in college. So apply to these HBCU Week scholarships. It will make your life so much easier.
The best advice I can give you is do not be a follower. Follow your dreams, follow your heart, and of course follow where the scholarship money is. But get outside of Delaware if you can, and like I said, I repeat, do not be a follower. Just because your friends are not going to school, that does not mean you shouldn't. Follow your heart, follow your dreams, follow your own brain, and use it. That's all.
Let's give it one more time for our wonderful panelists. So we are gonna have our host come back up, but I'm a little selfish. I want a selfie with my MPHS alum, and I know we got some Concord and Brandywine in here. Y'all can join in too. So let's stand up. I said stand up, please. Thank you. Yeah, come on. I know y'all sleep. Thank you guys. Thank you, panelists.
One, two. I got one more. Check. We got a few more giveaways and we're gonna open up the door to a question and Q&A. Okay, we just gonna give. Scholarships open September 27th for the HBCU Week, as well as the college fair on September 27th.
Like I can't see any of them through the head. Do you think we could get one?
As we wrap up, I will ask everyone please to take a seat for one more moment. You gotta get through one more thing, and we're gonna let y'all go. If y'all can come back and sit down.
People.
All right, good morning. take their seat, please? Can everybody take their seat, please? Can y'all take your seat? Did y'all enjoy the panel this morning? Yes. Can we give everybody from HBCU Week a round of applause, please? Thank you so much. I hope that you have found this valuable. If you are one of the seniors going on the trip with us on Friday, then please make sure you check Schoology because we did send you a message. Next, we are going to start dismissing students. So if we have any juniors that are remaining, can you please rise? You are going to period 4. Again, if you are